Welcome everyone. I'm in Port Orange, Florida today, and right down this road lies Gamble Place at Spruce Creek. I was here a couple years ago with my friend Scott Yukin as we explored the property. So I'm going to integrate some of that old footage into this video. Shortly after Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs came out in the late 30s, the son-in-law of Gamble, of Procter & Gamble fame, created the Snow White cabin, the Seven Dwarfs mine, the witch hut, and the wishing well on this property down this road. I'm gonna go check it out. Join me, shall you? Got lots of wildlife out here. Check this little guy out here. How you doing, buddy? If you come out here, be warned. Lots of spiders. Scott knows firsthand. We'll be able to make... Look at this spider. Scott almost put his head right in the spider. That would have been a bad call, man. As the story goes, Walt Disney heard of the homage to the movie he created, and he had to see it firsthand. So he flew out here and actually stayed the night in the cottage. If you're a fan of the facts of the creation of Disneyland and then Disney World, you've probably seen the interview with Walt talking about how he visited the carousel in Griffith Park in California with his daughters pre-Disneyland. I personally like to think that because Walt stayed on the property here, flew out here and visited this location, this was the first time he ever actually saw real, constructed, physical aspects of his animated movies. And I think in his mind, maybe he thought, there might be something to this. Huge mosquitoes out here. Look at these things swarming around. Look at that thing. There's a couple frogs in here.
Yeah.
There he is right there. One of the things I really enjoyed, and to be honest with you, blew my mind, was the Snow White wishing well. Just like the one at Disneyland that I'm tossing the coin in here. This was the very first incarnation and building of the wishing well. Walt built one at Disneyland, stood beside it, but this one was the very first creation, lifelike form of the wishing well.
My king, my prince will be here.
Shortly after the passing of his wife, Alfred K. Nippert, seen here, needed something to focus his attention on. After falling in love with the animated classic, he decided he would take the film cells from the movie and build the recreation. Once inside, it feels like you're in an actual fairy tale. From the detailed custom wooden doors to the knickknacks all around the inside of the cottage. And who could forget this wicked witch cutout that used to sit outside in the witch hut. Also are all 7 dwarf beds, hand-carved up on the ledge, with their names adorning the front of each piece. Since its creation, this almost forgotten about cottage has gone through many changes, sometimes open to the public, sometimes closed to the public, sometimes offering tours, and sometimes not even accessible. And more importantly, what happened to the rare artifacts donated by Walt Disney to the property? Rumor has it that Walt actually sent life-size stuffed creations of Snow White and each of the 7 dwarfs, which were placed on all areas and in all rooms in the cottage. They no longer exist. There's even been changes in the last couple decades. Whatever happened to this? Story tells that this was donated by Disney artists. And whatever happened to the wooden characters climbing down the staircase? Or back when you could actually meet Snow White at the front door? All those things of the past.
Come and get a juicy apple.
It's hard to believe this has been standing here since 1938. All these cobwebs in here. Mud dauber nests.
Do you think those cobwebs have been there since 1938?
No, but I'm pretty sure these apples have. Look how they've lost the color here. That's awesome.
Think about all the fires they had here, all the weenies they've roasted.
And what Snow White property would be complete without the dwarf's mine shaft? This 2-story structure at one time had a children's play area on the top floor. Check out my other channel. It's called The Daily Woo. It's a different, unedited vlog every single day. Not only are there adventures, but also I talk a little bit more about my life, where I'm going to be, the progress, social networks that you can find me on, a plethora of goodness. So subscribe to this channel and please subscribe to The Daily Woo. Have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Bye. As the story goes, Walt Disney heard of the homage to his... If you're a big fan of Disney and the folklore behind, research the facts, you know that Walt gave an interview. Why am I stepping on this pine cone? Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here. I'm in Port Orange, Florida, at Gamble Place at Spruce Creek. And real life versions of what I've created Thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate. Why am I yelling? Why am I yelling so loud? And then eventually, Walt Disney World. What do you guys think? Seriously, what do you think? I want to know what you think. I can't talk. I do 2 channels. There's basically, you've read articles about how he got in Florida. I cannot talk. Bae.